guys, we are back with the Seoul vlog part 2. Now this is day 4, and for day 4 we did sleep in a little bit because Kelly and I were really tired from day 3. And here's me trying out all the different cool tone makeup that I picked up at Oliveyoung. I was really excited to try it out all on my face. This is what we had for lunch, and it's kind of like a stew tofu base together with rice and tons of coriander. Personally, I do not like coriander, but since this is like a healthy meal per se, I just went along with it. After brunch, we took a train out to the Gangnam area to check out COEX Mall. I have never been here before and I've heard so much about it. And of course, you have to check out the Starfield Library. I mean, everyone is like taking pictures of it. It's very iconic and it's quite packed per se. And surprisingly enough, there are people actually studying and just chilling in this library. Also, most of the books there are all in Korean, so I'm just letting you guys know. Of course, I had to snap a couple of cute little pictures to show that we are here. And nearby is the Kakao Friends store. I've never been to one, and Kakao, as you guys know, is like a popular messaging app in Korea. They have tons of cute characters and merchandise. So I wanted to go and see and check out this place, and of course I had to pick up this phone casing, which is super cute. We did do some light shopping around this area, and even though the clothing stores here carry sizes, it runs a little bit small as a bigger size girly who is normally a UK 12 or 10. Even their pants, which is like 76 cm, right? That's the widest, that's the biggest. It's a 50-50 chance for me, so I didn't really pick up anything. For lunch, we checked out these like tantan noodles, which surprisingly really nice, very savory, very up my alley. It's like dry noodles but in a pasty oil with some minced meat in it. We then walked towards the Hyundai departmental store, which is directly connected to the COEX Mall. Really gave me the Singapore Orchard Ion shopping mall vibes, really like classy. A lot of the brands that they carry are more renowned international brands. We were on the hunt for a Tamburins perfume physical booth, but of course I had to go and sniff some perfumes. At that point, we were like, you know what, let's go to Tamburin store another time, and we decided to check out the Gangnam Oliveyoung store, which is 3 stories high. Surprisingly, I was very interested in the nail polishers being sold over there. They carry tons of very pretty colors, brands I've never heard of before. Girl, I blacked out again. I think we spent a good 1.5 to 2 hours there because by the time we were finished, it was dark. Since it was pretty late, there was this food cart really near our hotel, and we decided to get some food from it. We got like kimchi pancakes and some mandu, and we headed into a 24-hour eatery to just get some main dish as well. Oh, and this was the happy mess or a haul that I was dealing with at that point of time. Day 5. Now we had to be up early again because we were going to the Everland theme park. Unfortunately for Everland, there's no longer any like fast pass, so everyone is getting regular tickets, right? And we went on a Thursday. Let me tell you, this place was packed. Turns out this is a very popular school excursion trip for a lot of the schools and children. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We just have to deal with it. Queues were really long. We were waiting like 50 minutes bare minimum for one ride. And the first ride that I had in mind was to take the T Express roller coaster, which is well known to be really scary and screaming your hearts out. I'm like, I want to do that. So let's queue for that first because I need to check that off my bucket list. It was a really hot day as well. I could feel the sun's heat blazing down on me, and we had to queue out in the hot sun for about 2 hours and then another hour in the shade. In total, we queued 3 hours just to ride this T Express roller coaster. I was like, this ride better be good. Very soon it was our turn and I was very anxious. Apparently you need to do head stretches and everything to avoid a muscle pull. I was like, this sounds serious. And boy, this ride was fun. It lasted longer than expected. I didn't really keep track of how many seconds because your girl was just busy screaming. To shake off the adrenaline high, Kelly and I just hanged out at the souvenir shop. We decided to get these cute little headbands. I think for Everland, if you are not a fan of queuing, please don't come here. I just have the inner Singaporean in me which loves to queue, so I'm just like not too bad about it. I think in total, Kelly and I only sat on 3 rides because can you imagine T-Express took 3 hours to queue for, and then every other ride was another hour wait. We decided to just hang around the park because we had about an hour left before we had to report back to the bus. But we came across this limited edition event. It was like a butterfly event, and this was giving princess vibes. I was like, wow, this is super pretty. The flowers that I'm holding, it's obviously fake flowers, but the staff sprays like sweet water to attract the butterfly. I'm a little bit scared, not gonna lie, but I was like so fascinated. I'm like, I cannot give up this whole experience. Kelly, on the other hand, bless her heart, she was a little bit scared, so she had to stand further back. I've never experienced something like this before. It was probably a very underrated experience, better than most of the rides, I would say. Of course, I had to snap a picture with the iconic Everland tree, which eventually caught fire the very next day. Boy, I don't know if am I lucky or what. Also, to all my K-pop fans, there's actually a Kwangya store, which is the SM Entertainment store. We all know what's going on with SM at the moment, but if you are a big fan of like NCT and aespa, they have tons of their merch. They also have like the signed albums as well. Also at this store, there wasn't any like shiny stuff. I was heartbroken, but I saw the shiny light stick, and the inner 14-year-old child in me was like, I want it. But at the same time, I'm like, no, because what am I gonna do with the light stick afterwards? Afterwards, we left the park and they dropped us off at Dongdaemun area. I've heard tons of people talking about EggDrop, so I was like, okay, let's try it out. And honestly, it's a very underwhelming experience for me. Honestly, it just tasted like bread with fillings in it. There was no like iconic taste or whatsoever. It didn't like melt my taste buds. This is kind of a meh for me. Oh, and if you're shopping in the Dongdaemun area and you see this mall called APM Place, do not go there, okay? Don't waste your time. It is touted as a mall where you can shop from like 8 p.m. to 5 a.m, which is like, wow, this sounds amazing, right? But what they don't tell people is that this is mainly a place for live streamers. Live stream the clothing, buy in bulk, send it back to their home country. You know, I respect the grind whatsoever, but the storekeepers here, 90% of them were pretty rude. They actually chased us off, snubbed us off, looked down on us a little bit. I was like, this is not it. And I swear I spent about 1 hour here and we're out of this place. Day 6, and we decided to go out for brunch near the Gyeongbokgung Palace, but she was craving for, I believe, ginseng chicken. So I was like, okay, I think the most popular ginseng chicken place near that area is, I think, Tosokchon. Again, there was a queue, but we were seated in more or less under 15 minutes. Now, ginseng chicken is not really my thing, and I cannot fully appreciate it for what it is. I felt that the food was a little bit bland, but I believe now isn't the ginseng season at the same time. So I ate as much as I could before we headed to Hanbok Premium. The hanboks here are so pretty and of good quality as well. If you're a bigger size girly, this place actually does plus size hanboks rentals as well. You can pick and choose your own color combination and even more premium selection for the skirts, but honestly we just went for the basic line, and of course I had to pick purple. They even do the hair styling for you as well, with the hair accessories and a bag included. As the name suggests, Hanbok Premium, it is at a premium price. We paid about 45,000 won for 3 hours of rental. Also, I realized the hanboks that we rented are much poofier and in general just looks so much beautiful compared to other hanbok stores out there. Gyeongbokgung Palace is just another 10 minutes walk away from the store, so we made our way there. Palace entry is free if you're wearing a hanbok, so of course you go in for free and you take nice pretty pictures in there. I was in love with my outfit. I felt like a whole Joseon princess waiting for my Joseon prince any day now. I think my personal color analysis also helped play a part as well, because my hanbok colors were picked based on that as well, and purple was one of my best colors, right? So I was like, okay, why not? If you love to take pretty pictures with like scenic backgrounds, highly recommend you to do this, especially if it's your first time in Korea. There's even a library in the Gyeongbokgung Palace, like a legit library, where people actually can sit down, read some books too. Once our 3 hours of rental was up, we decided to head back, return to Hanbok, and take 2 stations down to Anguk, and we decided to check out the Cafe Onion. Now, I've heard so much about this cafe, and I'm usually not a cafe person, but this place was bomb. I loved it, and because we went at around 4 or 5 p.m, there really wasn't much of a queue. Then again, there wasn't much of a selection either. But still, we had a nice selection of bread to choose from still. I think my favorite was the cakes in the little like square. They were dense and delectable, and it just melts in your mouth. The perfect consistency. Totally worth it to check this cafe out. But good things never last, and apparently there was a pigeon who flew into the sitting area, and it kind of like sprinkle its like feathers all over the place, and I was grabbing my tray of food. I'm like, oh my god, my food. So we decided to head to the Tamburins store because the Tamburins store is still on our list, and I wanted to smell the perfumes in store before I make my purchase. This was around the Gangnam area. In general, I feel that Tamburins perfumes are very light in scent, which is very fitting for the Korea environment. But if you live in a hot and humid country like Singapore, I don't think these scents will last. Maybe in like air-conditioned weather, maybe in a mall or something. The scents in general are not very complex either.
How many times do we go to Oliveyoung? 5
Do you go every day?
I think more or less every day.
Okay, except Everland day.
No!
Really?
We went to the Oliveyoung at Everland.
Again, we shopped till it was late and decided to have KBBQ around our hotel area, which the meat, the tenderness of the meat, ooh. And this is my little Tamburins haul. Day 7. Now, the last time I was here in Korea, I stayed near Namdaemun market, which is where the locals shop. Prices of goods here are significantly cheaper compared to other areas. But then again, I feel that this area is a very auntie, uncle kind of place. You can find tons of imitation bags. I bought a ton of socks from here as souvenirs and even for myself because I felt that this was where was the cheapest where I could get it. And as much as their clothing are kind of ugly, some of them are great for homeware. I bought tons of them to wear it for homeware, and it's just so comfortable in Singapore's heat. Afterwards, we travelled to the Sinchon area because Kelly wanted to get her nails done, and this was a neighbourhood I have never experienced before, but I believe it's like literally right next to Hongdae. I believe she got her nails done at Bongsua Nails, and I didn't want to get my nails done, so I was like, you know what, go ahead, I just want to explore and check out this area. So of course, where do I go? Oliveyoung. Listen, I couldn't help myself, okay, but honestly, I didn't buy much. Less than $100, I think. Once Kelly was done with her nails, it took about like an hour and a half, I think, and we decided to get dinner. We tried out this hot plate of like, I have no clue what it was, but there was like cow intestines, cow tongue, and the meat was quite hard, not my thing, so I didn't really eat much. Headed to the nearest 7-Eleven so I could get at least a cup of ramyeon and check it off my bucket list.
Green grape. Oh my lord.
Day 8, we went back to the Onion Cafe because I just wanted to eat my bread in peace and try the other flavors without a bird harassing me. I saw the signature onion snow bread. I'm like, I want to eat that. We went there in the morning and the queue was quite long. However, we did get outdoor seating, which was free for all. And of course, there were way much more selection for us to choose. To digest the food, we had to walk around the Bukchon Hanok village because we were so full. There were lots of handicrafts around this area as well, and I wanted this stuffed toy so bad. They look so chunky. I love it. Small head, big body, love it. All in all, just taking in the scenery and how beautiful this whole neighborhood looks like. Afterwards, we headed to Sinchon Juno Hair, where I decided to get my hair done. Also got my hair cut, styled and permed by my hairstylist Koon. She did an amazing job, by the way.
아줌마.
My name is Kun.
곤?
Yeah.
I don't speak English.
B? Chebin?
My name is JB.
Chebin, yeah, so find them. Okay, yeah, go find them. And this is how the perm looked like. Oh my god, it looks so good. I love it so much. Once we were done, we headed back to our hotel to do some last minute packing. And our last meal was at a 24-hour meal shop because we were so tired. Like, just eat anything at that point. Also, your girl went over the baggage allowance. I went over by like, I think 2 kg. And at that point, it's like so heavy. I don't want to lug it all the way on the train. So I decided to call a cab and we made our way to Incheon Airport. Overall, it was a great trip, a great shopping trip, definitely. At the same time, I was so ready to go back home because I was so tired. Again, it was a red-eye flight. However, this time our meal was supper. So can you imagine eating rice, squid, and cheese at 12 a.m? That was not the plan. I did not expect that. I genuinely couldn't eat much, so I tried to eat as much as I can. Of course, I finished the cheese. But very soon, we touched back down in Singapore.
Welcome to Singapore, ladies and gentlemen, and to all Singaporeans